Do you know about Network Marketing Pro? Oh, I know a lot about Network Marketing Pro. Network Marketing Pro is about Eric Worre's story about how he made it in network marketing and how he found out about network marketing, all the pitfalls that he experienced in network marketing, and all the skills that he learned. And he shares them in his book, Go Bro. So he talks about how network marketing isn't perfect. It's just better than a white collar, a blue collar, uh, brick and mortar business, better than an investor. And they all have their different reasons, but he says that none of them fall under the perfect job description except network marketing. And if you are going to decide to become involved in network marketing, then you should decide to go pro or go professional. He talks about being three levels of a person who's involved in MLM. That's the poser, the amateur, and the professional. And most people start out as a poser, and then eventually, hopefully, they move on to become an amateur, and then eventually move on to become a professional. And he talks about the differences between each level, and then he talks about how you're going to need to learn some skills. And there's 7 skills that he talks about in this book, which are finding prospects, inviting prospects, presenting your product or opportunity, following up with your prospects, helping your prospects become customers or distributors, helping your new distributor get started right, and promoting events. So he talks about how to find prospects, He says that you come into contact with new people all day, where the poser may mentally think of a few people that if they join the business, that it will help them make it rich. So like, oh, I know a few people that would love this, and they treat it like a lottery ticket. And then the amateur might come up with a written list of actually like 100 people or more, and they contact all those people hoping that they'll find someone who will make it big for them. We've all heard the stories about the person who found one distributor who struck it rich for him. And then he talks about the professional who is constantly looking for people throughout the day, adding 2 people to their list all the time. When we come in contact with people, we want to be able to compliment them and um, find out a little bit about them and then get their contact information. And then he talks about inviting prospects to understand your opportunity or products. So you get their contact information and find a creative way to invite them to view your presentation. And in network marketing, you want to go from exposure to exposure, meaning that you get their contact information, just find a creative way to keep in touch. And then when the timing's right, you can present your product as a solution to a need or a solution to a problem that someone is experiencing or facing, as long as your product fits the need, as long as it's able to actually benefit that person, then you want to sell it to them, or at least give them the exposure. So you set up the first exposure, and then you do the presentation, which is either a video or a cassette or a brochure, some sort of tool, marketing material, and you give your presentation. And he talks about not asking what they thought about it, because that gives people the opportunity to use their critical mind to think of something that was wrong with it, make them sound smart. And then he talks about, he would say that, what did you like best about it? And then there you'll find that they'll either talk about the product or they'll talk about the opportunity, and you know which way to go with it from there. And then he asks them, on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to get started? And if it's anything above a 0, then you have to set up more exposures. And that's what he talks about, is when you have an exposure, the purpose isn't to sign somebody up. The purpose is to educate them about your product or your opportunity. And from that exposure, what you simply want to do is set up the opportunity for the next exposure. So you would end one exposure saying, great, I enjoyed this time here with you. What would be a good time to reach out to you another time? with the phone number that you have and the time, and you call them when you say you're going to call them and follow up with them to set up the next exposure. Um, and this is all through asking questions that you'll find out all this information. So you want to have good follow-up skills. You want to call them whenever you say you're going to call them. You want to set up the next exposure every time you have an exposure. Uh, Give them more information. Find out what they're lacking. Treat it as your consultant, that you're helping people find something that's going to help them. You know, if you really believe in your company, then you really believe that it's going to help them. And then so if they want to become a customer distributor, then you're going to help them become a customer distributor by helping them place their order, by training them, by telling them how to use the product, by giving them some trial product, maybe if that's what your company does, by helping them sign up and learning the benefits that they have. You know, this is a service industry. We have to be serving our people. We can't just one and done. It doesn't work that way. And then if we have a new distributor, we want to make sure that we tell them that, you know, this is their job, this is their business, that they have the opportunity to build something here.